So I was going through basic training when I was 17 years old. Um, it was kind of hard. It was a very abrupt change. Obviously, I'm not just going to sleep, waking up when I feel like it. But it was fun. I mean, like it was something I really wanted to do. It was something I looked forward to. So it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it ended up being a necessity, of course, and unfortunately, it turned out to be one of the worst decisions I've ever made. So I volunteered to go to Afghanistan, and while I was riding in a Humvee, there was an IED, and that's when my entire life just turned upside down. I ended up with a spinal cord injury that left me paralyzed from the waist down. And with surgeries and rehab, I was finally able to regain a lot of my mobility. But the physical issues aside, I definitely had a lot of psychological issues, and those are probably the biggest things. It just stays with you. I may have gotten better physically, but I definitely didn't get any better psychologically, mentally, emotionally. It's just been a hell of a ride ever since. It's been 3 years, and it doesn't get any easier. I may be able to tolerate it and push through and just try to make it to the next day, but it's a constant fight. The fight is never over. And I try to do things for myself. I've got the dog who helps me get by, but there's only so much she can do. And of course, I've got a lot of medications that I'm taking, and those, again, try to help me tolerate it. But other than that, it's a constant fight. I try to do things to keep myself busy, keep myself entertained, and to distract myself from my own life. I'll try to go skiing as much as I can, and do stupid things like going to play laser tag. But, those things really help me not only interact with other people, but it helps me take away from my own life and try to do something that will distract me from my own misery. And it almost lets me become somebody else, for other people in my situation. And there are some, obviously, we all have our own fights and our own battles that we push through. And any advice that I would give to other people is to just try to find purpose in life. Because like I said, that's one of my biggest issues, is not having a purpose in life. So that makes it a lot harder to wake up the next day when I know that even something stupid like having to go to a doctor's appointment gives me a reason to wake up. So anybody else, find a purpose in life. A lot of people have families, and they help them. It gives them purpose. They've got to raise a child, and I've got to raise a dog, but I can't say it's the same thing. She may be attached to me, but she would easily adapt to a different environment, and she would become part of that environment to where she doesn't need me anymore. And a lot of times I see her interact with my friends who she has seen constantly, so she's very comfortable with them. She gets very excited when she sees them. And that little thing, that actually hurts me to see that she doesn't need me. So that actually kind of takes away from the feeling that I do have purpose, because even my dog, I don't have to raise her apparently, because she's got it covered.